Welcome on back, everybody, to this commentary playthrough of Disciples Liberations. And we met Palmer in the last episode, and sort of from the intel that she gave us, we went and stopped some mana reserves. And then she broke out and is now about to unleash all hell upon Earth. Well, not really, but she's gone to Godhead. And we've been to Godhead before. And as you can see here, there it is. But we did obviously do some looting up here. But before you see the God Vein. Pure mana oozing forth from the decaying brain of Wotan. Its power pulses through everything around you.
Well, this is gruesome. Oh, it's strange, though. I feel like the air itself is charged with power.
It is.
Around you, sounds of battle and cries of pain ring out. You think of all the fighting you had to do to get here, of how precious this power is. The air seems to grow closer. Your vision grows darker. You feel a voice ring through you once more.
You have come to me.
The voice is deafening, yet makes no sound. You realise now that you are standing at its source. Are you Wotan?
Wotan?
Yes, Avi. The big dead god is still Wotan.
Wotan's power suffuses you. It is intoxicating, enveloping, overwhelming. It is everything you have ever wanted. And everything you revile.
You too have power, gloaming child. You too need power. Look around you. Lust and madness, malice and want, and you between all.
Though you try to break from the voice echoing within you, it resonates louder. Ask, it seems to say. How are you speaking to me?
I can hear you. But you're supposed to be dead.
The echo of Wotan's voice quiets just enough for the din of the fighting to break through to you.
Avi, things are about to get messy in here. We've got both elves and undead incoming.
Is your power to shape the light and darkness around you, or to pull both within yourself?
Suddenly, the echoes silence. The whole world goes still. Orion speaks to you as if from a world and a lifetime away.
What do we do, Avi?
Time seems to stop. Wotan's voice is clear now, near but not loud.
The undead and elves vie for the power my remains would grant them, and you stand between and above them. You've seen the faults of both. Addiction, bloodlust, cruelty. Perhaps their faults are your own.
Yes, and of course, we're doing the One Ring to Rule Them All playthrough. I've seen goodness in them too.
The races of this world have goodness in them, despite those faults.
Such is your judgment of them? You are then fit to stand in judgment?
The world ripples and rumbles around you. It is possible you've made Wotan laugh.
Will you trust them with this power? Would you trust yourself with it? Perhaps no one should have it.
I am not sure.
No one? I don't know who should have such power.
Ah, but is that an answer? Power calls, and rare indeed is one who will not answer that call. You must decide what to do with it.
So you'd give this power to me?
Even gods do not give power, gloaming child. In this world, at this moment, I simply cannot stop it from being taken any longer.
Twisted faces of all those seeking the mana leer at you from the shadows. Ryan's voice comes to you again as if through water.
What do we do, Avi?
What indeed?
Kill the elves and help the undead. Kill the undead and help the elves. Kill them all, the power's mine. We're going to kill the undead and help the elves, because I like elves.
The undead are a monstrous blight. We cannot let them have this power. Reinforce the elves.
Eshmar narrows his eyes in anger and steps away from you, but he makes no attempt to interfere. Charlier glares hatefully at the approaching elves, but says nothing.
To me, clansmen, glory at journey's end.
Unnatural beasts, return to your graves.
Yep. Well, I use Melodrak quite a lot as well, but the thrashing, decaying undead hurl themselves at you, desperate for a bite. Probably. Ooh, lightning storm. Oh, Paul, you never went and got some more people, did you? Well, it looks like we're going to have a warden. So let's put you to there. I need Melendrak in my party, and I want a warden here. Okay. I might as well put the soldier in. He's going to die, but... And we'll put the Banshee in instead of Sorceress, just because of health. You're going to die. Okay. What the fuck is that? Okay, right. Let's get Avi to move up.
Stand down. Ha.
Let's just defer for these. I was hoping you'd go for Abby. Alright, let's move you up.
This suffering must end.
Oh, it should have done.
This suffering must end.
Should have done that. Oh well. Let's steal your voice.
Rivers be my strength.
I will reap you all.
Trees by my strength. Nevendaar will have her vengeance.
I go. You will make a vine.
Shitting hells.
Fate had to guide me to death. You cannot fight.
Heal him up. Miss Soldier.
Taking the line. Wear them down.
With that 83 damage, but he's literally going to be there to do other things. Right, you can kill him. And
Move out.
move up there.
You cannot fight death.
Of course you missed. course you missed.
Rivers, be my strength.
Let's do that.
My strength. Mother Nevendaar, in your name.
Come to me, children. Succumb.
Oh, wow.
I need souls for reaping. You cannot fight.
Right, you're going to get demoralized, which is fine.
I will lick your
On the offensive.
Missed.
You're done.
Oh, come on. All right. Bonk and bonk.
I go.
Move down here.
You will be purged.
Right, you
Freeze by my
means you're going to get damaged, and
my strength. Nevendaar will have her vengeance.
it's fine.
Succumb.
There
Just
will
attack,
be no surrender.
and then we will
Mounting
move.
an offensive.
You're mine.
Right, you're
You'll
dead.
win forever. Moving.
So luckily bone golems up close and personal like that aren't too much of a
We'll
hassle.
be victorious. We make our stand here.
Right, move you up and we'll take this guy out.
Wrath.
It's good damage. Not quite dead. Obviously a guy up here, which we need to start heading towards. Just kill him. Wow, I didn't think it was that wide a range of self-destructing, but
We must preserve these.
hey ho.
I pray to the trees. Give your life to Galleon.
Alright, one more to go.
Death does not wait. You will make a vow. Moving. Die. Ha!
There we go. Let's keep moving everybody in.
This moment.
Can't quite hit.
Mounting an offensive.
Move her up one. And
Scorch the security.
Trees by my strength.
not quite dead.
Ice.
It is now. Okay. That wasn't so bad. With your support, the elves push the undead back for their briefest of respites. Elves, their faces twisted with longing from being so near the god vein, fall upon the vein. Some using tools and weapons, others losing themselves and tearing ferally with their hands. Nails split and hands bleed, but the elves will not stop.
They're gonna rupture the vein!
Back! Everyone!
Know me.
Power explodes out of the vein. White light novas through you, around you. Elves and undead explode into gory mist. Bone and sinew unmake themselves before you. And then you, too, are gone. What? My resources are full, so I've got to find our way back to Nevendaar. Ars, Lord of Chains. Or Wotan, God of Rock. Speak to the God of Rock.
Abby, someone else is here.
Your hand moves instinctively to your weapon, but you stop, shocked. The figure ahead of you is Orion, but Orion is already standing next to you.
Whoa, hey, who the... You stay right there, me!
The other Orion only smiles. He stares at you, or perhaps through you. His eyes never quite seem to focus.
Who are you? What do you want?
You came to me, gloaming child. You and the other scavengers who picked at my corpse for whatever power you could glean.
Wotan?
Yes, or something very near to Wotan.
Impossible.
The dead god.
Why do you look like Orion?
Explain this illusion.
Wotan turns his unfocused gaze to Orion. He seems unimpressed.
I was once the patron god of the dwarves. Perhaps this diminutive form is how your mind is capable of interpreting me.
Wotan turns his strange gaze back to you.
Now then.
Wait, did a god just insult me for being short?
What is this place?
I don't understand. We were at your grave. The god vein ruptured. If this isn't the four heavens...
You are the gloaming child, Aviana, the twilight between light and dark. This is a place of neither.
Then where is this?
Do you not suspect? This is Erdva.
Erdva. The word resonates. Erdva.
The corporeal anchoring of the ethereal.
Erdva, the madness between worlds. The elves say it is where the shades of the gods rest.
The necromancers call it the plane of slights. realm of neither living nor dead.
Aren't you dead?
We saw your body. It was decaying. You're dead.
I did wage war against the elven god Galleon and won. I tore his heart out and hurled it into the sun. I did fall to Solonial's rage. Mortis, the goddess that rose from that rage, did kill me, and all the dwarves of Nevendaar out of revenge. But Nevendaar is not the only plane, and Wotan is not the only Wotan.
Tell me why you brought us here. You're barely able to think the question before Orion interrupts, somewhat overwhelmed.
Alright, so some kind of god realm, or whatever, and hear me out. We're all dying of mana poisoning and having a deathbed vision.
We wouldn't be having the same vision.
Maybe I'm having the vision, and I just imagined you said that? Wait, maybe my whole life was a vision. Maybe you were never real. Maybe I'm not real. I'm spiraling. Avi, make this better. Talk to the Godman with my face and fix this.
Orion puts his head in his hands. Wotan's grin shifts slightly. There is something indulgent in it.
Erdva is difficult for the mortal mind. This is the plane of sleights, where the corporeal forms of gods exist.
How can you exist at all?
I still don't understand how you can exist at all. Unless Mortis raises you, once you're dead, you're dead.
Wotan is dead in Nevendaar. Wotan is alive in Erdva. You are light and you are darkness, but you are still you. I am a dream, a memory, a premonition. But I am Wotan.
What else can you tell me about this place?
Tell me more about this plane of sleights. I don't even know what that means, frankly.
Erdva, the plane of sleights. A place where shadows of gods rest. Oh, the tatters of my memory of such a place. Corruption has seeped into this memory. The pollution of the rot and royal of Nevendaar.
Your memory of Erdva? You mean we're inside your memory? We're in your mind?
Wotan almost chuckles. It is unsettling.
No, and yes, you are beginning to know me, to know the divine. There is no other way to explain it to a mortal mind. This is real, but it is also a memory that rots.
But if this is a memory, does that mean I've already been here? Are you remembering me?
Child, you've always been here, and you will never be here.
Alright, can I just stop pretending that I understand and go straight to hating this?
What can you tell me about yourself?
You said, know me. You're Wotan. I know that. What else am I supposed to know?
We must know the corruption and creation that trails in our wake. In your world, I hammered the mountains and the valleys. I watched over the dwarves for a time. They led me to disagree with the gods Galleon and Solonial. I ripped the heart from Galleon's chest and threw it into the sun.
Yeah, you told me that already. Melindrak's eyes narrow bitterly, but he holds his tongue.
Well earned.
Solonial struck me down. Then, to save her love's heart, she threw herself into the sun. She returned as the burned horror, Mortis.
You think you detect the slightest twitch in Ormil's cheek as she glares at Wotan with regal stoicism.
You should be thanked for giving us such a magnificent goddess.
I murder and am murdered. I create and am recreated. The connections between gods, between mortals, between worlds. They corrupt, they grow. You are a nexus of connections, gloaming child. The potential corruption that follows in your wake. Know the gods and learn.
We need to find a way out of here.
Enough of this madness. I'm leading us out of here.
The corruption seeping in from the rot of Nevendaar eats at your return, even as it eats at my mind. Cleanse Erdva, and you may yet find a way.
Good. So there is a way home from this place.
A way to exist, gloaming child. Here, you are the half-born memory of a dream. But that is at least something. The price of failure in this universe is nothing.
Okay. So the next one to talk to is over here. Ars, Lord of Chains. You see Altilian, the jailer you encountered in the Whitelands and in Wotan's grave ahead. He is draped in chains and is idly playing with a cruelly barbed hook.
Okay, so you're not actually the jailer we met. What fever dream god are you then?
I am Ars, the Lord of Chains.
Of course you are.
I am the binder and the keeper. You are not supposed to be here. You are supposed to be chained in place.
Speak of chains. Earn death.
Yes, yes, we all think you're very brave. Please don't get us in a fight with gods.
Binder and keeper? Sounds like glorified servitude.
Oh, it is. Gloriously so.
You barely manage to stop Bagthal from charging the god. Ilmerian narrows her eyes. A look of naked hatred clouds her beauty for a moment. Why have I never heard of you?
In all the pantheons of all the gods, no one's ever written about you or spoken about you. No legends, no songs.
You are of the 10th epoch of Nevendaar, but there are many more eras and ages, rises and falls, than what those epochs would reveal to you. I am proof of that.
What are you doing here?
If you're the god of chains, are you the reason the gods are trapped here?
Trapped. The Erdva, the plane of slights, is but one of an infinite number of realms in which we exist. The gods are not trapped.
You're the god of captives?
So you're the god of those held captive?
Not just the jailer, but the jailed. Not just the chain, but those in chains. I am the whip that cracks, and I am the skin beneath. The same could be said of you, Nephilim.
I'm going to find a way out of here.
We're leaving the plane of slights.
The corruptive tissue recoils in a hissy agony. Whatever it is no more. Okay. So we've got Galleon. Before you stands Cowan, but the madness in his eyes is like nothing you saw in Nevendaar.
Cowan of the Whitelands. What are you doing here?
When the figure speaks, his voice changes from the gentle whisper of wind in trees into a horrid scream of a beast.
I am become many things, but I was Galleon.
Ormil grasps and bows her head. Melindrak looks at his god with naked disappointment.
Galleon, the god of the elves.
Galleon pulls at his hair and claws at his skin.
Galleon, god of the elves, of the trees, of many things, and then nothing. Wotan ripped my heart out, but gods don't die, right?
You look around at the strange memory plane of a dead god that surrounds you.
I've noticed.
Why don't you return to the elves?
The elves are split, desperate. They need you.
The schism, the epoch that fated the elves to divide, was inevitable. Nevendaar is a land of divisions. It is cursed.
How was the world formed?
I've only heard legends of how you created life on Nevendaar. What actually happened?
We were lovers. All of us. Bethrazen, Solonial, Wotan, and me. Bethrazen formed Nevendaar, and it was the first schism. It tore us apart. Solonial and I clung together. Her tears were the rivers, my seed were the trees.
Nice.
Your world was the greatest creation in the universe, and it was doomed from the start.
How did you truly die?
The scribes write the tale, your heart was torn out by Wotan and hurled into the sun. But why?
My people say it was Wotan's jealousy, but it was not. It was fate. The schism was coming. Wotan's many divisions to many planes was coming. Solonial's death and rebirth was coming. The fate hand clasped us. We are gods, but against our fate we are nothing.
You must come back to Nevendaar.
We're finding a way back to Nevendaar, Galleon. Come with us. Your people need you.
She brought me back. But she was... and I was... I came back as Galleon the Twisted. Galleon the Divided. Galleon the Shifting. I cannot go back again.
My lord, please. We need you whole and returned. We need you to make us whole again.
No. No. I must not be bent to others, not again. Not a creature of your world, just a creature.
Galleon steps away, his voice following him after, like the echo of a babbling brook or cries of a wounded animal. Okay. So we got godly corruption, which I'm guessing we need to speak to the High Father, ancient lord of light. Before you, you see Sebastian. Sebastian throws himself to his knees before himself. It is a strange sight.
Who are you, really?
I am the High Father. The angels are my children. The Empire are my children. You are all my children.
Ilmirian laughs bitterly. The High Father does not seem to notice.
But, Father, you don't speak to mortals. You don't speak to anyone.
Orion, hold your tongue.
The High Father ignores Orion. He only looks at you.
But you are unique amongst my children, aren't you?
I am descended from your angels.
Yes, High Father. I am Aviana. My mother is Inoel. I am descended of your child.
You are all my children, Aviana. But my light throws shadow, and some of my children have slipped into that shadow.
Why don't you save Nevendaar?
The people of Nevendaar pray. For epochs they pray. Why don't you answer those prayers?
Your world, child. I never wanted it. Nevendaar was a mistake, an impetuous flourish from one of my wayward. It is true, I've often turned from your world.
Sebastian tries not to gasp. He nearly succeeds. Crasandra stifles a soft sob. Do you hear people's prayers?
People love you. They dedicate their minds, they mar their bodies, they throw their life into praising you.
Child, if I did not ask for them, do you think I asked for their adulation? I will not celebrate your victories, just as I do not relish your defeats. Love is not indulgence.
The High Father sighs. He shifts his weight. It is strangely physical for such a being. Why did you send my mother to Nevendaar?
My mother was the angel Inoel. She was sent to Nevendaar to destroy it, on your orders.
At my displeasure, universes dissolve into entropy. At my whim, stars explode into being. The greatest gift I can give Nevendaar is my indifference. Consider it a blessing.
Tell me why you're here.
You act indifferent, but you're here and you're speaking to me. There must be a reason.
Because you are something new. Something I will need to turn my attention to. For better or for worse.
What does that mean?
Something I'll do? Something I won't do? What do you mean?
You have time yet before I turn my eyes to you. Be strong, child.
In a violent, sizzling mess, the corruption hurls itself away from you, and in what can only be described as fear.
That's two. Feels like we're getting close.
So we've got Mortis and the gate. So let's head over here first then. You see a figure clad in shadow, her face obscured by her hood, lounging by the last postal of corruption. By the tilt of her head, she appears to be admiring it.
Your name?
Wajin, goddess of horrors that sleep beneath the waves. Maybe.
Why have I never heard of you?
I've heard of no such god. I thought Solonial was goddess to the mer people.
I am Wajin, goddess of winds and wastes. Maybe.
Maybe?
You seem uncertain.
I am Wajin, goddess of whores and bastards, maybe.
I'm Aviana of Ilion.
Kuwai Jin. My name is Aviana.
I am Kuwai Jin, goddess of lies and truths, maybe.
What is this?
If you're playing some kind of game, Kuwai Jin, I'm in no mood.
I am Kuwai Jin, goddess of murder and love, maybe.
Who are you truly?
State your true name and do it now.
I am Kuwai Jin, goddess of dream and horror, maybe.
I'm Aviana, liberator of Nevendaar.
You're many-titled. I understand the burden. Lately they've been calling me Liberator.
And drunkard.
Wow, that one's at least deserved. Maybe even a bit of an understatement.
I am Kuwai Jin, goddess of gibbets and nooses, maybe.
You roll your eyes, seemingly in unison with those around you. If this were going somewhere, you wouldn't know it. So who are you again?
Right. I'm Aviana. And you?
I am Kuwai Jin, goddess of lust and slaking, maybe.
So long, Kuwai Jin.
I am leaving.
I am Kuwai Jin, goddess of beggars and fools, maybe.
That's bloody weird. Right, Mortis. You see Palma, the vampire you encountered in Wotan's grave. She smiles at you and her image seems to ripple. She is beautiful, elven and luminous. She is horrid, rotting and ragged. You gasp at the figure before you holds up something shining and bloody. The heart of a god. She raises her hand, beautiful and light, rotting and burnt.
Mortis, goddess of undeath.
Sharlea attempts to glare tightly at the dead eyes of Mortis. She fails. Sharlea lowers her gaze and bows her head.
My queen! My everything!
Ejmar prostrates himself before the shifting image of the horror before you. You see him fumble at his robes and then decide not to watch him any longer. Nice. The dead and killing goddess grins and looks around at your party. You see both beauty and skeletal mocking in her face.
Soon.
And with that, Mortis is gone. Clear the last corruption. With the third blockage released, a cool gust of crisp, wintry air rushes past. You know it well. Nevendaar. Home.
We're doing it! There's a way out ahead!
Okay, so it looks like we're going to potentially fight the High Father. And Mortis then. At the precipice between the plane of slights and Nevendaar, you stop. You step forward, you may never return. Okay. I want to quickly go back and see if we can talk to this faceless Kuwai.
Kuwai Jin.
I am Kuwai Jin, goddess of the fading light, maybe.
Who are you again?
I'm Aviana. And you?
I am Kuwai Jin, goddess of shards and cracks, maybe.
I am leaving.
I am Kuwai Jin, goddess of harvest and fallow, maybe.
You're like goddess of everything. Okay, let's head back. Let's go. The haze around you settles in a low fog of glowing light, then dissipates completely. You're back.
Knives, check. Body, check. Boyish good looks.
You're fine, Ori.
You're fine, you're fine. Maybe an inch taller, actually.
Har, har, har.
Orion checks his height against yours just to be sure you're joking or changing the conversation.
So what do you think that place was? Erdva? The plane of slights?
It was the afterlife.
When the mana vein ruptured, we should have died. It only makes sense that Erdva was the Four Heavens, and somehow we've been brought back to life.
That would explain why we all saw the same thing. I know we say this a lot these days, but this hasn't exactly gone to plan.
No, but the elves and undead both just heard the message. Ilion is here, and has as much a right to Wotan's grave as anyone.
And if Erdva was the afterlife, I'd say the gods heard it too.
Return to Ilion and speak to Orion. We've got Twilight Force. We've got some new equipment. My resources are full. I think we've got everything here. Let's take a look at the map. And we've got everything here. So we are done with Wotan, which is nice actually. Quite enjoyed this sort of area. It's actually a good challenge. So let's head back to Ilion. We're at 40 minutes as well. So wow. A lot of talking in that one. Let's gather up the resources and take a look at the spells. We've got everything that we could. Spell-wise, we've got Twilight Force. Imbued an ally with solar energy grants agile, strong, resilient, and protected to the target. And over here we've got Agony, which is tortures the target with dark energy, dealing unholy damage, inflicts poison, and immobilize. Cool. And Shriek of Darkness, screams shadows and dissidents in a cone. Dealing unholy damage to all units, inflicts weakened on the targets, inflicts paralyzed on the targets if they're already inflicted with bleeding, burning, or poison. That is a good one. I'm not going to lie. The Shriek of Darkness. Because that's another paralyze and we bleed quite a lot. So let's... it's not in here that I need to do it, Paul. I need to come into my character. I need to go into the spell book. And... Unholy... Shriek of Darkness. Instead of Corpse Explosion. And we got a helm. So intelligence down. I've got mana I could probably get up. Initiative, critical chance. Yeah, we'll keep what we've got on. We've got another shard, a strong shard of hope, which we've got on one of our units. Actually, I think it's Coruscandra. Yes. So let's go and update that. And that turns into a legendary and grants regain for the first 5 rounds of battle. Once per battle, instead of dying, the unit restores 25% of its maximum HP. This does not trigger dying effects. Good stuff. And I've clicked the wrong thing because I'm an idiot. So let's put on that. More divine damage. 25% divine damage. Since she does divine damage and can do it twice. That is awesome. And while I'm remembering, head into the church here. Get a couple of golems. Train them up. But we will be leaving this episode here. Obviously, we need to pick a new location. We've probably got to speak to some companions and stuff before we head on with our journey. But if you could like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, it would really help me out. Yeah, there'll be some more Disciples Liberations coming your way shortly. But in the meantime, my name is Paul, I play games. I'm going to end my recording session here, and I will see you all in the next one.